All right, well, now we're going to take a look at your butterfly from the underwater view on the side, and we'll point out a few things, some things that are in the other video, but again, it's a good viewpoint for you to see where to improve on your butterfly. Hands in are in a good place, eyes are down, so I like that. You're in a good position, hips are high, so all that looks good. But then you can watch your hand. It turns sideways and slides out. Now that's more of a breaststroke pull than it is a butterfly. We don't want our hands to turn sideways, so we don't want to push water out to the side like you are doing right here and press those hands out wide. We want the hand to remain this direction so that when it goes to pull, it's pressing the water straight back behind you. So you're pulling the water behind you, not to the side. Okay, we don't want to scope out like we're doing breaststroke. We want to pull back, and what happens is your arm remains very straight, so it's straight all the way through this part of the pull as it turns out like that. And we want it to stay palm down so that your elbow comes here and is high, and then your arm bends into the forearm and hand catching water, so that's in this position here as you start to pull back rather than pushing out like you're doing breaststroke. And I think that's where you're losing a good deal of speed and power, is by turning those hands out. It's kind of a wasted motion in butterfly. And then you can see here's where you start to pull the water back, and it's just a little late. You're losing that first 6 to 8 inches on your catch as far as pulling yourself forward. And then that causes the hands to be so much wider. So on the front view, when we're looking at it, your hands aren't as close as they need to be underneath the body, where again, we get a lot more power. You can see on this view, this is perfect. You're in a great position here with the hands, and then you just turn them out and push out with those straight arms. And we want to bend the elbows there and pull back, not allow the hands to kind of be pushed out like a breaststroke, okay? And then there, that looks good. And again, it can just be a little closer. Hands can be closer underneath the body as you go through that. Okay, if we go into the turn, we hit the wall, eyes are down, that's good. Just bring those, tuck those knees in a little tighter to the body to create a better tuck. You're getting over, again, I'd just like to see that hand come in tighter, a higher elbow, but very tight to the other hand so you get a better streamline. And then we can see your push off. I would rather have, like, this foot is turned down. It needs to be turned up. Both feet need to be turned up as you're on your side here. And then from the hands, from the feet through the hands rather, it needs to be on this line here. Yours is here, which is going to cause it to be a really shallow push off. So as we push off the wall, you're going to see that you're shallow in terms of how deep you are into the water. Maybe 2 feet. And again, if I draw lines, this is the line you're on here, and you're just about 2 feet below the surface of the water. And I would like to see you here a little bit more, heading towards 4 to 6 feet underwater on the push off, just to get a little deeper. And then if we're watching your body, your kick is happening more from just the hips down, and I want to see a little bit more motion out of this upper body, this torso. So the kicks are coming from the upper core, the upper ribs, and getting a little more power out of it. But nice streamline up front. Your streamline's got much better. Hands are on the side of the head. A little bit of hand movement up and down, but not too bad. And just like I said, it's just a little shallow. We want to get a little deeper in terms of that part of the pull. But again, you can see how straight this arm is up front from this view, pushing out like we talk about. And I would rather see it here. Let me redraw that line actually. What I would want to see is the elbow stay up a little bit more, so it's a little higher there, but then that forearm bends down. So you keep the elbow up and then you bend down, and you're inside of that arm position you are right there, where you're sliding out a little too wide.